Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Turn Zero. Over the last month, our players have been building a list for all four factions as if they were going to a store tournament. And before we kick off any Turn Zeros, let's take a look at the map our player is going to be using. Mike, you put this map together. Can you talk us through it today?
I did. So I put the map together, but I think Keegan, you built half of it via commission. So thank you
these
very
were
much.
these were some fun pieces to do.
They are. So this is a reenactment of Rakata Prime from the original of Knights of the Old Republic. If you haven't played the game, you should. It doesn't really hold up now, but it's got some iconic locales and characters. It's a little dated in its system. But the end of the game, you crash onto this beach, and there's like a Sith temple in there and some Mandalorian tents. So if you look at our map today, we have two crashed ships, some Sith ruins with a temple, and then some Mandalorian painted tents on the side with actual Mando symbols.
Awesome.
So went for the theme for there. It's an interesting. I like to think of it's a map with actually a lot of verticality. There's not a lot of real big tall pieces to it other than the storage facility and the temple, but the ruins and the tents and the ship are all stair accessible. And generally, when I play this table, we play the stairs as open because it leads to a more like naturally flowing game. So you're frequently going up and down that little bit of terrain so that you can get some out of cover shots or give yourself height cover. So it's not necessarily jump height verticality, but just regular shore troopers, phase twos can actually get some nice height.
Oh, great! I love the. I know the discussion about how to play difficult terrain, especially things like stairs, is it's. I appreciate the deliberate thought on that because it can make a lot of sense to make them difficult because running upstairs in combat gear is hard, but disincentivizing the movement onto those can also really reduce the use of the terrain. So that's a cool choice. All right, anything else to say about the map?
No, so the only other thing that I will mention though, the palm trees are light cover area terrain. They are open. And the couple of times that I've played on the table, the kind of the mud and the water around the down transport ship in the bottom right hand corner,
Hmm.
we've played it as open and not area terrain. It's just more aesthetic
Yep.
because it takes up such a large amount of that bottom right hand corner deployment zone. It's super punishing if it's difficult. So
Yeah,
do assume that it's open and not area terrain.
that's a great call. Great call. Cool. All right. Well, we've gone ahead and paired up for our first round, and Nick and Josh got paired together. We're going to have a Clone Wars battle. Uh, we talked about Josh's list maxing out all the way at 800. So Nick, with his paltry droid bid of 10 points, takes blue player. Uh, Blue, what are your thoughts? Are you, sorry, you know what? I misspoke. You won the bid. It is your choice if you want blue player.
Oh, I think I'll take blue player, Keegan. Thank you very
Cool.
much.
Excellent. Excellent. Any deeper thoughts on that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then skipping on to the first privilege of blue player. When you look at this map, what are you thinking for table edge?
It's a hard choice. But I think I'm taking top. I like the
Okay.
layout a little bit better, a little more comfortable with the storage facility, the setup there. So I'm gonna take top.
Awesome. Cool. With that, blue player is going to be top, and we're going to start with some battle cards. So the the players are reviewing the battle cards now. We have bombing run, sabotage, the moisture evaporators, and breakthrough in the objectives. We got deployments of rollout, advanced positions, and major offensive, and finally hostile environment, rapid reinforcements, and minefield. Looking at this list of the battle deck, talk to me about your Nick. Talk to me about what you think's most optimal for you in here. What's most optimal for your opponent?
Well, I don't think he's gonna let me play bombing run, so that's
Probably
probably
not.
gonna go.
Probably not.
Honestly, I'm probably not gonna be able to influence the top too much at all because I think I mean I don't want to put ideas in his head, but if he cuts bombing run first, I'd like to play breakthrough too.
Sure.
So I'm kind of looking at the deployments here. So I really do like rollout,
Hmm.
especially because I don't think I'm playing bombing run. So I will probably leave rollout here for now. Um, Hostile environment, it's not too bad for him because he's playing clones, so he's got a lot of double courage units.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I'm gonna cut hostile environment and go to rapid reinforcements here. Give me
Hostile
a little bit of
environment.
flexibility for those BX droids if I want to parachute them in.
All right, first one cut is hostile environment. Makes sense. Over to Josh as the red player. Josh, looking at before you make a decision, is there any setup of these command battle cards that you really want to have? It's most optimal for you.
Uh, if I could, I would take Sab advanced positions and Minefield. Advanced positions doesn't help his BX at all.
Hmm.
And so I guess I would go with that. Minefield is actually pretty good for me, given I have a lot of dodges to hand around.
Sure,
And
sure.
so I think I'll be okay with that unless I happen to hit a surge mine or a surge on that red. But yeah, I actually don't like this draw at all.
Okay.
That top row is pretty awful, or that top, yeah, the top row doesn't look very good for me. But for
There
my,
is there's definitely some pairings here that between your list that is suboptimal for you.
so if Nick's gonna cut hostile, rapid actually is not very good for me at all, especially not having low
Okay.
activations, and plus he can get those BX pretty close to me. So yeah, I'm cutting rapid. Go
All
minefield.
right. Rapid is going off of the table. Back to Nick. Nick, what are you thinking?
So I'm again. I'm not. I'm gonna force him to get rid of bombing run unless he wants to play bombing run, of course.
Okay.
And I don't really want to cut rollout for advanced positions because my B1s don't need scout moves and my BXs already have scout 3.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pass. Blue pass.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Blue with a pass.
Yeah.
Right back over to Josh. You're stuck with the difficult choice. I know you wanted Sab advanced positions minefield. You can pick one of those.
Rollout is pretty neutral here.
Hmm.
I think so. We're just gonna have to cut bombing run. I only
Bombing run.
have one unit who's fairly mobile, and not having standbys decreases the mobility of everyone else, or standby sharing, should I say? So yeah, we're cutting bombing run.
All right. There we have it. We land on a sabotage the moisture evaporators, rollout, and rapid reinforcement. I'm sorry, minefield game. For this 9 activation clone list with Anakin versus a gentlemanly 12 activation stab CIS list. Um, Nick, how you feeling going into this list or into this match?
I feel okay. I mean, I wish that he'd let me play bombing run. Nobody lets me play bombing run. No,
I know the feeling.
I think he made the right choices here. I
Yep.
think I did the best I could. I rollouts fine for me. I get a little bit of extra deployment for my stabs, a lot of flexibility there. Um, I have a lot of terrain. I have a really nice terrain set up for the moisture evaporators on my side.
Yep.
I'm already looking at where I'm dropping my evaporators there. Minefield, I can take it or leave it, but I can scoop my BXs out of the way of them, and let B1s take a damage or two. You know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I didn't want to face clones, but this turned out okay.
Makes sense. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what are your thoughts?
Uh, I think, yeah, I think getting top here is actually a huge advantage. I both of the or all of the battle cards seem to be fairly neutral. Of course, I'm gonna have to kill a unit.
Hmm.
Um, I think I'm okay because where my evaporators are going to be behind that temple, who's that looks like at 1 to 3 o'clock from the center,
Okay.
and that's pretty high. And I'm not sure, just looking at it, if those BX droids can scale over that. So I think that's going to help me out quite a bit. Height two, yeah. And so I think I'm okay, but I'm really going to have to make sure I make use of fire sports so I can delete a unit off the table and force him to move instead of him hiding behind those 1 health left on seven wound B1s. So I'm gonna have to wipe a squad in one shot.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, you did bring the heavies to try to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
awesome. All right, Mike, neutral observer on this. What are your thoughts on how the players did?
I think Josh made the best of a bad situation.
Hmm.
Um, bombing run and breakthrough are probably just instant loss, so at least sabotage gives him a chance to play the game.
Yeah.
It is good that at least Nick's going to have to be more conservative with his BX squads with the swords. He may not be able to dive them in and really get their points value because he's going to be throwing them at a Jedi who's got Pierce and Force Push. But Josh is going to have to take advantage of any mistakes that Nick might make with positioning. If Nick plays it smart, he probably just circles the steps for a while and maybe hits out at the edge, and they might not even engage the entire game, depending on like how much Nick wants to play the objective. So Josh is going to have to capitalize on a mistake, but he's got a chance to do so if it happens. I don't feel great though.
Neither do I.
Well, thank you all. That was a great turn zero, and we will be back with the matchup of Matan and Mike. Talk to you soon.